We should all know by now that Payday 3 hasn't had a good run since its release in September, with things like bugs, performance issues, and even a lack of online modes still plaguing the game and making the overall community just not even want to focus on this. However, since my last video, we have had 2 pieces of content drop, and I think it's about time that we talk about them. If you enjoy what you see today, be sure to sub to the channel. I would deeply appreciate it. Okay? Let's continue. Like I've mentioned in the intro, we had 2 new pieces of content drop. 1.0.2, otherwise known as the Legacy Heist update, and we have 1.1.0, or the syntax error heist update. I want to talk about the Legacy Heist update first because I was supposed to talk about it around the time it came out, but we had a bunch of new games drop and I wanted to focus on those a little bit more. So on November 30th, we had the Legacy Heist update drop that introduced Cook-Off and Turbid Station, formerly known as Murky Station. Now with Cook-Off and Turbid Station, we got to see them rejuvenated, remastered. I don't really know how you can call it, but I'm not gonna call it good. Aside from the maps, they did include things like earning infamy points after every heist, something that I personally wanted. We have boosted AI health, so now they're more durable than a baby soft spot, and just a whole laundry list full of improvements. So now that we got 2 infamous Payday 2 maps back into the game, we got infamy points after every heist, but we have a few more things here and there. What are my overall impressions? It's mid. Cook-Off's remake is designed horribly. Much like the original Cook-Off, there's only 2 spots it can be, but instead of being on the main floor and the top floor, now it's in the basement and the top floor. The top floor is insanely easy. In fact, I think it's even easier than what it was in Payday 2. The basement is just dog shit. It's just annoying to deal with. They have these cops there and they kind of tease like, oh, could you do this stealth? No. No, don't even bother. You know, and with the remake of Cook-Off, they've just allowed an easier time for police to get in. Plus the fact that the ammo conservation is that of Dead Matter's server population, it's really just an annoying, not fun heist to do. Now I will say this, the positives are that the announcer doesn't piss around like how Bane did when calling out the recipe. I can't tell you how many times I failed that heist because that fucker's like, oh hey, it's hydrogen chloride. I dump it in, and then like 2 seconds after I do, he's like, shit, that was supposed to be muriatic acid. Thanks a lot, you prick. But unfortunately, that's kind of where my positives end. Now moving into Turbid Station or Murky Station, I thought Cook-Off was designed horribly, but no, they absolutely slaughtered this damn map. Now, it is the same sort of design, they've changed a few things here and there, but the one thing that pisses me off the most is that the drones have much more range to explore. And even though everything is pretty much designed the same, the consistency compared to Payday 2 is just not there. Like, if you ran Murky Station once, you can pretty much run it again the same time, even if things do get swapped differently. For this, I couldn't even tell what the fuck I was supposed to do or where to even go. And I lost my patience so much on this, I couldn't even complete this one, so I just left it. You know, and when you stack up all the changes in the heist, it just doesn't feel like the game changed at all. Now we're moving on to Syntax Error, which is the first paid DLC for Payday 3. And I hate to say, but it's being destroyed in the reviews. Now, before we get into the nitty gritty of it, and I'm gonna do a callback to this later, there are 2 different price tags for the heist. If you want the bundle, which comes with the heist, a weapon pack, and a tailor pack, it's $18. If you just want the heist, it's $10. I'm gonna throw up the prices of everything individually on the screen, and I'll even throw up the price of the bundle on the screen so you can kind of get an idea of what we're dealing with here. Now, for $18, you get the new heist, 4 new masks, 4 new gloves, 4 new suits, 3 new guns, a weapon sticker, and a charm, and I think that's about it. For the new guns, we've got the FIK-22 TLR, which is a DMR and pretty damn weak. I would not recommend this thing at all. Then we've got the FSA 12 gauge shotgun that's supposed to pack a punch, but I'm not convinced that it's that good. And then we got the War 45 SMG, which is probably one of the best guns in the game at the moment. It kind of borders on the high damage, low fire rate spectrum, but god damn does it pack a punch. Now for the new heist, the gang break into a data center called Scary Digital or S-Cry Digital, so they can essentially steal specs for a cutting edge drone. This is probably the most unique heist that we've gotten inside Payday 3 aside from the ones in the campaign. You know, not to say that the heists from the campaign are bad, but it's definitely better than Rock the Cradle and Under the Surface. And you know what, I'll throw Golden Shark in there too. I didn't really care for that one. We also have this new enemy called the Techie, and what they do is that they hide behind a refractable shield and they send in drones to kill you, but they will also actively run away from gunfights. Now let me tell you something about these drones. I don't know who at Starbreeze thought that these drones weren't powerful enough, but they're good. You can nerf them. It's okay. These damn things will shred your health and armor faster than a competitive eater shredding down food. I mean, they're fairly easy to kill, but goddamn, by the time you find one of them, you're pretty much dead. For some positives, the new environments do look good. We're somewhere inside New York City. The place looks great. Feels like I'm right at home. There's some civilians slurping down glizzies on the side of the street. You know, things fit. You know, I could live 50 fucking lifetimes and not ever have to hear that sound again. I will also admit that the new enemy type is pretty good. I mean, yeah, this is not making it into the S, A, or B, or even C tier in a tier list, but hey, it's new. Now, no matter if you run the heist stealthily or loud, it's pretty damn simple to complete. I think you're gonna have the most fun with this if you run it loud, because trying to run it stealth with how the map is laid out, nah. That means it also shouldn't take you long either. I mean, I completed this heist in about 15, 16, 17 minutes, somewhere in that range. And one more positive, but I think this is more of just the game and not the heist itself. Anyone is able to play it as long as the host has it. Now for the negatives, and just like how I mentioned with my positives, the layout of the basement is absolutely atrocious. Even when I was running the heist loud, I was so confused on where to go. Because the main objective is you go into the basement, you grab servers, you put them in this rack, and then it all combines into one, and then you pick it up and you leave. After a while, all the different sections where the servers are at tend to just blend in with each other. Also, the extract is garbage. So pretty much what happens is that after you find all 3 of the correct servers, you run out of the facility and into the park. You signal a helicopter and then you wait. Now, the reason why this is trash is because you have to stay in that general area, right? But there's no telling on how far you can go. Yeah, so that means that you could just walk back into the bank and collect the rest of the bags if you wanted to, but that time is going to extend longer because you're not at the exfil site. This is easily the dumbest part of the heist, and it just wastes your time. And if you tie that in with the fact that there's barely any cover in the park, you're pretty much just a walking paper target. And the biggest negative of it all is that this heist is too damn expensive. Now, if we look at Payday 2's heist, they're only a couple dollars cheaper than what the syntax error heist is, but I think it's about the value, right? Payday 2's heists were all really good. They had really great structure. They padded the timeout quite a bit. I don't know, man. I can't justify it. For my final thoughts, I'm just sitting back and I'm asking myself, what the hell happened to Payday? In such a short amount of time, the franchise went from being something that was just so appreciated to now being turned into pretty much the poster child for the modern gaming model, which is ship now, fix later, and monetize the fuck out of it. Now, I'm not saying that Payday 2 was great. Payday 2 was awful when it first launched, but they at least listened and they at least learned, and it did not stay bad forever. Now, if we compare that to Payday 3, not only do we have a bad launch, but we have a bad launch mixed with shitty decisions like requiring a Starbreeze account, the lack of features that we have grown to be accustomed to, like offline mode, something that I'm pretty sure Payday 2 launched with, plus the lack of content, the lack of characters, the lack of just really good storytelling. It just makes the game feel like it wasn't fully complete. And the game just feels so empty now. Like, even when you do pair up with other heisters, it doesn't feel as exciting or as beneficial as it did in Payday 2. Most of the time, they just leave the damn game. And the one thing I was excited about, right? The infamy points for completing a heist. Not even worth it. You're still expected to complete challenges for the fastest progression, which I can understand. But if you're gonna make completing the heist not even feel like it's worth it, then why even bother? You know, I used to remain skeptical for this game, but now I'm not even sure what's going to happen, and I hate that. As a consumer and a creator, I can't confidently predict the way the pendulum is going to swing with this game. I know it doesn't mean much, but if you look at SteamDB, Payday 2 is putting Payday 3's dick in the dirt. You know, and I used to think it was because Payday 2 had more content, but I genuinely think it's because the game was just overall better. More customization, features that cater to both social and introverted gamers, modding capabilities, better builds, better guns, better storytelling, better maps, and the list keeps going. Payday 3 feels like if Starbreeze wanted to go back to Payday the Heist, but forgot that people enjoyed Payday 2 and supported the title longer and better than what most companies do their own damn games. And even though I'm uncertain of where this game is gonna go or if it's even gonna get better, one thing that I am certain of is that you do not buy this game. Wait for another update like 6 months later and then buy it if it gets better. In the meantime, if you have Payday 2, go back to it because you're gonna have a lot more fun there. And now I turn the mic to you. Let me know down below what you think about Payday 3. And I want to take this time to quickly say happy holidays to everyone who has watched and supported the channel. I'm going to be going on vacation for the next 2 weeks, so you guys unfortunately won't be getting any new uploads from me. However, I will try to keep in touch as much as I can on the community panel and on my Twitter, or X as they call it now. And while you're down there, go ahead and smash that like button and update that sub button to all so YouTube can show you my content free of charge. This is Sir Blackout signing off, wishing everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, and hoping that you get what you wanted this year, an actual good game, besides Payday 3. Later.